Nathan Judo. I'm here with Wolves reporter Tim Spiers. Tim, Huddersfield Town 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Wolves got exactly what they deserved tonight, absolutely nil point.
Yeah, for the second time against Huddersfield this season, they've got exactly what they deserve. It's bizarre, really. I mean, Isaac Hayden, the Newcastle player, said after Wolves drew with them a couple of weeks ago, on judging on those two games, he couldn't understand why Wolves were 7th.
Yeah.
I can't understand how Huddersfield are 20th. And one of the worst teams in Premier League history, apparently. Outplayed Wolves at Molineux, and they fully deserved it tonight. Created far more chances than Wolves, and Wolves got exactly what they deserved. It was a typical Wolves result.
Well, yes.
From the old days.
From the old days, yes.
But you don't expect it of this team, and I'm disappointed really because Watford's next 4 fixtures are horrendous. Watford, Liverpool away tomorrow. They've got Leicester at home on Saturday. It's not the game you want right now.
No.
And then they've got Man United and Man City in March to play. So there's a big opportunity for Wolves to lay down a marker for 7th. A really good week of fixtures. They've got a good point at Bournemouth, and now they've got to push on and beat Huddersfield and Cardiff. And not only have they not managed to grind out a terrible 0-0, but they've gone and thrown it away in the last minute with some shoddy defending, which was a characteristic of the night, really. They haven't had a single shot on target. They were outfought in midfield. Nuno's made some bizarre substitutions, and yeah, they've gone home with what they deserved. And
the surprising thing, I think, at the full 93 minutes, is that not a single shot on target. It didn't even look like scoring tonight.
No, they didn't look like scoring. They had a decent little spell after the double change where Gibbs White, I thought, probably had his best appearance for best substitution appearance for a few weeks. He was actually involved and being positive and trying to make things happen. And they had a couple of moments there where you thought they're starting to put the pressure on here. But Huddersfield always looked the most likely scorers. I mean, Mooney or Mounier, however you say his name. Apologies, Steve. Curled one inches wide, on like 85 minutes, I think it was. Hogg put a header onto the roof of the bar. Patricio's made some good saves tonight, including for the goal. He absolutely pulled up a stunning save, and then the guys just tapped in the rebound. So for his second goal of the season. So a really depressing night, actually, by all accounts.
Look, I mean, the players look shattered out there, to be honest. Some of them look tired. Any excuses? Saturday and Tuesday? But I mean, everyone's got Saturday and Tuesday or Saturday and Wednesday. I mean, it is what it is, isn't it?
I don't agree. I didn't think they looked tired.
Jimenez looked tired.
I'm not sure that was the issue, really. To be honest.
Neves, what happened to Neves tonight?
Neves was poor, and this is what happens when you deny Wolves space in midfield, and Huddersfield have done it perfectly twice now. Swamp the midfield and stop Wolves playing. So in those situations, you need to hit them on a counter, really, and you need some special moments from your individual talents, such as Jota, who broke free a couple of times in the first half and looked the most likely creative force. Wolves' other best chance of a goal was set pieces. Moutinho's set pieces were dangerous. Again, all night. They've been on the money for weeks now. It's been real strength for Wolves. 65 minutes, up goes the board, Jota off, Moutinho off. And no Traore on. And then
there's a head scratcher. I mean, it is. I mean, he's been brilliant this year, Nuno, and he's taken all the plaudits, and he's got to take a little bit of criticism tonight because that was quite strange, wasn't it?
It was.
No, he'll have his reasons, I'm sure. But
it was strange, and it wasn't in the post-match press conference, but it seems his answer to why he's made those substitutions was in terms of energy. So I read that as in Jota and Moutinho are both struggling a bit now. Jota, has had a dead leg recently. Missed the game, didn't he? Missed the cup game, and then he got an hour on Saturday, and then he started to tire. So you presume the same has happened tonight. Moutinho, I know he took a nasty knock to the face, but that's not to do with his legs.
He looked a busy out of the three of Duncan, Neves and Moutinho.
Yeah, but I'd leave Moutinho on just for his set pieces. Honestly, they're such a weapon for Wolves these days. And then, like I said, Gibbs White did okay actually. Cavalier showed a couple of touches, but then the third sub, we're all saying in the press box, and I know the fans certainly on Twitter are saying it.
From half time, really?
From half time is where's Traore? And he just didn't come on, and it's this perplexing transfer, £18 million.
Continues, really.
Continues, and for me, Traore has done pretty well since that Spurs game at Wembley, where he was Wolves' best player certainly for the first hour before he got taken off. He was superb that day. Ever since then, he's done all right. But he just hasn't had the time on the pitch, certainly in his favoured position. I know they're struggling with him as a kind of a second striker, but tonight you had a guy making his debut.
So it's 8 changes.
A 20-year-old making his debut at right back. There's some lad they signed from Man City, and then they brought in Durham at left back. But bloody hell, it's 2 fullbacks to get at.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know there's an issue with the midfield, but Wolves are being swamped in midfield anyway. So maybe, I'm no manager, but go 3-4-3, play to your strengths, get Traore right wing, get him running at his man, and see if you can get something from that, because Wolves just had no creativity at all, to be honest.
And like you said, they kept on pressing, and you know, obviously the crowd were behind them and just trying to see some decent football. Well, you saw it coming. You saw it coming a mile off.
It's so frustrating. I was saying on Signal FM before the Signal FM, little plug there, with Mikey Burrows, Danny Thompson before the game, saying what's the one thing you don't want to do tonight? You don't want to give Huddersfield any encouragement whatsoever. They've been completely devoid of any positivity or encouragement for the last 14 games, where they've earned a solitary point away at Cardiff. Right. So what's the last thing you want to do? You don't want to give them any encouragement, because they've already beaten Wolves this season. So they've already been kind of thinking, well, we can beat them again. And the other thing you don't want to do is get this crowd on their side. They're one of the best crowds in the top couple of divisions for me. Yeah. When they're with you, and they've been a real strength of this fantastic Huddersfield success story. And after 10 minutes, they started to raise the noise volume, and then and it helped spur Huddersfield on, because 85, 86 minutes were ticking on, and these guys were starting to stand up around me, just cheering the team on and imploring them to get that winner, which they did. So Wolves have only got themselves to blame, because they gave Huddersfield a foot in the door, and I thought they wanted it more as well, to be honest. For
sure, absolutely. And which is frustrating, like you say, with this run of fixtures. Now they go to Cardiff, come to Molineux, not in a great run of form, and they've got, if they're going to finish 7th, whether they've got to go to Watford still or not, they've got to beat Cardiff. It's as simple as, if you don't beat Cardiff at home, if you get 1 point or no points from these 2 games, you don't deserve to finish 7th. Yeah,
and you know, I've stuck a couple of tweets out, kind of being critical of Wolves tonight, and I had a few replies saying, come on, you know, we're 7th, 8th on the table, having the season of our lives in the cup quarterfinals.
And you've been complimentary, but sometimes there's a time where you've got to say it.
But the point is, it's not little old Wolves anymore.
No,
this is big boy Wolves, and Wolves are trying to break to top 6. That is what they want to do soon. Okay, so Wolves have got to start acting like a big team. Nuno says after the game he can't explain why his team struggle against the smaller teams. Out of the bottom 5, they've only beaten Southampton this season, lost to Cardiff, lost to Huddersfield twice, and drew with Fulham. So, and yet they've taken results off all the big teams. So there is an issue there, and if they want to be a big player in the Premier League, then they've got to earn at least 1 point against Huddersfield in 2 matches. So, but they've got to change their mentality,
and they've got to take the licks as well if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, exactly. As a club and as a team. So it's been a great 8-game unbeaten run, but they had to continue it tonight. They had to, and it's a big cross in their season, to be honest, that they've slipped to this defeat tonight and against Huddersfield in the first game. Of course, they have a chance to rectify it. As I said earlier, Watford's next few games are very tough, and Wolves really need to beat Cardiff, because after that they've got Chelsea away, which is a very difficult game for them.
So people will be calling for changes for Cardiff, so it'll be exactly the same team that started tonight then, yeah?
Well, it's will be an interesting week on the training ground, you know, because Nuno will demand a reaction.
Good to have a short week, get another game, do you think, or not?
To get out of the system, because they need a bit of momentum going into that cup quarter final as well. And there'll be some players banging on the manager's door and saying, look, play me, because if the team is tired, then he needs to start rotating his squad a bit more, doesn't he?
Okay, let's go home. Huddersfield 1, Wolves 0 for all the post-match reaction. Make sure you log on to expressandstar.com.